is good evening to you both.
Good evening.
It's so lovely to be back. We've got Tammy, we've got Hayley with us, the crew back together for this Year in Your Healthy Mind show. Very quickly, one liner. Tammy, how's your year been so far?
Busy, really busy.
Busy, really busy. Hayley?
Very productive.
Oh, productive.
I like
Tammy, do you want to change your answer? We're going to come back to you.
No, but I am going to jump in and just say, because I haven't seen you both, I'm going to say happy 2026.
Yes, happy New Year. We're here. How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can say that. I don't know what the etiquette is. Can we say that 12th of Feb?
I usually go for the first 10 days of January. So the fact that we've got to 12th of Feb and we're the weekend of Valentine's, I'm going to give you a round of applause here on the microphone for squeezing that in. But yeah, we are back for this wonderful show, which looks at unpicking bits and pieces about our personality, about our habits, and trying to get your mind healthy so we can live some better lives. And we do that through sharing our own lived experiences, through sharing the training that some of us have undergone, the experiences of talking to other people, and just like tonight's show, bringing the experience of other people to us. So joining us in about 15 minutes time, we've got Tracy joining us. Hayley, give us a bit of a precursor as to what we can expect from Tracy.
So Tracy does storytelling with people, teaches them how to tell their own story. Also businesses, teaching them how to narrate their story. She has a very interesting story of her own. So I'll be looking forward to listening to that when she joins us.
Very excited for that. And we're going to kind of build on that during this first section as we get to know each other again and reintroduce ourselves. And we'd love for you to introduce yourself to us as well. There's lots of ways you can get in touch with the show. 01437 764455 on the WhatsApp. That's 01437 764455 on the WhatsApp. We're going to be checking that throughout the show. You can contact us on the Pure West Radio app if you've downloaded that onto your device. And you can email studio@purewestradio.com. You can comment on social media because we are live everywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. We're also on my personal TikTok. We're trialing out our TikTok lives at the moment. So by all means, come over and say hello. If you comment publicly, we can't guarantee your anonymity because it may pop up on screen. However, if you wanted to ask us something in confidence, you can do that. Use the WhatsApp number, or you can use the email or Pure West Radio app and say, please don't say my name. And we can just use your example throughout the show. Lovely. So we're going to be talking storytelling and finding our story. Before we get there, Hayley, finding our story. Given we talked about this a couple of weeks ago in the planning stages of putting the show together, give us an overview so those that might want to get in touch know kind of the basis of the first question.
So I suppose I wanted to talk about tonight the kind of how we decide or define our identity by the stories we tell ourselves. So I want to look at what we'll be exploring today, and probably with Tracy as well, is what does that look like? And I don't know if you know, if you're interested in the Chinese New Year, but last year was the year of the snake, and we're supposed to be shedding that identity and moving into the year of the horse. Now, I felt it energetically and emotionally since probably December. Actually, I put my laptop down in May, actually, last year. But there's been a big sense of change in December. So what stories are you telling yourself about yourself? And are they true? And are they the person you want to be? And what can you do to change them if you want to change them?
I love that identity. And what I love about your example there is it us choosing our identity, or is it some spiritual animal in the sky that's kind of telling us, oh no, we're moving into this mode now? Tammy, what are your initial thoughts on this topic?
I'm really interested in this storytelling because I think it allows you to re-author your life. Instead of seeing yourself as fixed by, say, past roles or past mistakes or labels, you are able to view your life as a story, as chapters. So an old identity is still part of you, but it's that movement forward. And we've all got, and I'm assuming there, but there are those like lived experiences where perhaps you have very much changed from where you were, 5-10 years ago. And you're in this new chapter now. So I do like the idea of storytelling. So I'm really interested actually in speaking with Tracy.
I love that analogy of different chapters in our life. And I remember when we first started getting together, of course, my experiences in guiding people through ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, and how we have different chapters in our lives. It was very much a thing that I talked about in those groups, where people affected by cancer became identified by the fact that they were someone affected by cancer. But before they were a patient, they might have been a father, a mother, a brother. They were someone that went to university. They were someone that was an apprentice. They traveled the world. And we've got all these different identities all the way back to when we were born, essentially, when we couldn't do anything for ourselves. So I love that analogy. And I suppose the question which I'm asking is, how consciously do we go from chapter to chapter, Hayley?
I was asked this today, funnily enough. I think it depends on which season you're in your life and what's going on in your life. Because the question my friend asked was, in your 20s and 30s, I mean, I got 40s to go. I had my 40s as well. But did life happen to you, or did you design the life you wanted? And I was like, oh, okay. So my 20s, I traveled. I went to America on my own for like Trek America. I went to Magaluf to work. I went on the cruise liners. I did loads of things and thoroughly enjoyed. And I got pregnant at 26 and settled down. So my 30s were really different. It was literally about just parenting. And my 40s. And then my 50s is a different season altogether. And I'm very much awake and understanding things now that I wasn't before.
Tammy, what's your take on that?
Well, as Hayley's saying that, I'm thinking about like we have chapters, but in those chapters we can have maybe just that kind of like themes. I'm kind of going on I'm delving really deep into storytelling now. But I do think it's about, I don't know, turning your old identity into a past chapter. And if someone said to me, could I don't know, identify different decades, the answer would probably change on different days. Just to confuse things matter. I think if I reflected back, I could say traveling, I could say children, but on a different day, I might say something completely different, like learning or seeing something new for the first time, or education. So I think that voice changes.
If you're listening or watching this right now, how consciously have you gone through your chapters? Have you even recognized that you've gone through different chapters? I'd be really intrigued to know. The number for those on the screen, it's scrolling across the top there. The WhatsApp number is 01437 764455, or the PW app, or email studio@purewestradio.com. I know, speaking from my own experience, I very much just let life happen to me. I very much did what was expected of me. And went to school, went to university, studied, tried playing some sport, and then came back in the midst of a credit crunch. So just kind of volunteered in the field that I'd studied in. And then from that point on, we've got this project coming up. I think you should apply for it. Okay. And just very much did whatever happened and spiraled around me, to the extent where a colleague of mine was looking for jobs, and she applied for it not knowing that it was my speciality, not hers. So she was like, I'm just going to put your name on it. I was like, oh, okay, thinking it was a joke. She put my name on it, and I was like, oh, well, I've been invited to an interview, so I might as well go. And I got the job. And this was a move away from Pembrokeshire, and a big move to Cardiff and the big city. And I was like, well, again, this has kind of happened to me. I'm about to upstick everything and move because something has happened to me. And yet that was the springboard to what became me being so more conscious as to what am I doing next and why. And I started enrolling on acting classes. I joined the choir. I helped set up other choirs. I joined the cancer charity, and just dived headfirst into all the opportunities that came off that. But everything up until that point was kind of just part of the trajectory I was on without really aiming anywhere. For those that might be feeling aimless, Hayley, how can we help ourselves navigate these chapters and actually finding a heading?
It's quite challenging, isn't it, to become aware when you've not done that, to acknowledge everything. And I think once you're at the point where you think, I need to do something, or I want to do something different, you've already passed step one, because the acknowledgement is the starting point, isn't it? And I think after that, it's deciding, I suppose there's two ways. You can either decide what you want to shed, or you can decide where you want to go first. Whichever way you do that, they both have to happen. So they can happen in either order, but they both have to happen. And then once you've set your goals and you've shed, then it's about the actions you take towards that.
And then do we need to look for these epiphany moments, or is there something that we can do anyway?
I have 4 journals on the go, right? And I tell you what, I'm having aha moments all over the place. I've been in different rooms that I needed to be in not by mistake, obviously with fate. But I have a diary, a journal that I let things go. I have a journal that I ask for things. I have a journal that I journal my future. And I have a spare journal, which tends to have anything and everything in it. So I have 4 of them on the go at the same time. I carry them in a bag with me.
I was about to ask, do they go everywhere with you? Because I'd get confused, I think.
Oh, the colour coded.
Brilliant. Tammy, how do you find your heading and realize where you're going? Are you a pen and paper kind of person, or do you find other ways? Do you just wait for those aha moments to hit you?
I think it's probably, I just do it internal, which goes against everything that Hayley does with the physical side. And at the same time, I just know that, as humans, we do we understand life through stories, and those personal narratives really shape our identity and our emotional well-being. So I would probably, and I do, I just keep it all in my head. But I'm thinking my head would be a lot lighter if I actually followed Hayley and physically wrote stuff down.
I'm kind of a mix. I go through bursts and I think, I'm going to write everything down and set my stall for kind of, because we didn't get to talk about this really over the last couple of shows, but I tend to have themes for the year. And then I kind of pick up on that theme and I'm like, right, I'll make sure that everything is roughly in that direction of the theme. And then I'll have a real burst of energy, usually procrastination of something else, where I'm going to write everything down. And the problem I do is that I'm not very good at reviewing. So then it just becomes something that I'm aware of in the back of my mind, but then the target can easily start wavering when you don't call back on it. How can we stay on the straight and narrow, Tammy?
Oh, it's that focus, isn't it? So I am going to have to then just eat my words and do what I would probably tell clients to do. And that would be to journal, to have that structured form of self-dialogue, so you know which direction you're going. And if you do waver, also remembering that it's okay. It's okay if you don't get to your destination. It is the journey. And as in all jokes and playfulness, it's very therapeutic to journal, because it can just help declutter your mind.
Hayley, does it help you declutter your mind?
It really does. And I have a really busy mind. I do it once a day, if not more. And I don't, 4 journals is probably extreme, right? You can just have one. But I've got another one I want to start with something else. I've just started looking at leveling up, and I asked for in my asking book. I asked for leveling up. How do I level up? And I got these videos on my TikTok that I've never seen before. She came on my TikTok yesterday. So I've got 6 parts to her videos of how to level up and what all the steps to do. So I've started doing that yesterday.
Wow.
Can you start one for me, Hayley?
You have to do it yourself. No,
I'm going to take that away, and it's video evidence now. I'm going to have to start.
If you've just joined us and you're wondering why we're talking about chapters in our life and a bit of identity and journaling and headings, it's because we're about to welcome our guest this evening to talk about storytelling and how aware we are of these different chapters, how aware we are of ourselves, and how can putting a different perspective and probably looking at it from a bird's eye view. I can't wait to ask these questions to Tracy, who's going to be joining us very shortly from the Cats Pyjamas, facilitator in storytelling events and workshops. Hayley, I'm really excited for this next chapter. We're going to take a moment and listen to a song or two. It's 9:30 pretty much, and can't wait to welcome Tracy onto the show Healthy Minds, Better Lives here this evening. That number again, if you want to get in touch or ask Tracy any questions whilst we're here until 11 o'clock, because of course we haven't done this yet. Tammy, we're going to be, you caught up with Lorraine Pascal, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I caught up with Lorraine to talk about the importance of talking therapies when women reach that midlife, so 50s onwards, and how 2/3 of women don't actually seek that much needed support, and they have so much going on in their lives. So whether it's work, children, even those caring roles, that can happen to us, bereavement, how we just struggle on, and throw in the mix hormones, physical changes, emotional changes, that we don't actually turn to talking therapies. So a very interesting interview for everyone to listen to.
That's coming up before the end of the show. We'll be back in a couple of moments. The WhatsApp number 01437 764455. The Pure West Radio app. You can message direct to studio, or you can email studio@purewestradio.com. It's 9:30. We'll be back with Tracy Law talking storytelling next here on Pure West Radio.